crazy.
You'll need it.
Oh, as always. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's super special edition of Sunday Morning Live. We just had one of my favorite Sunday Morning Lives of all time last week. That happened to be the Easter Sunday Morning Live, and I am still living on that mountaintop of happiness from all the happy.
I think Easter is so much fun. I mean, I can never get enough of Easter. It's like the best weekend of the year, I think.
The best, that's right. And, sorry, everybody. My name is Campaign.
I was thinking, see, the thing about your name is, your name actually has a meaning, a campaign. Like, my name doesn't have any meaning. I don't know. My name is Dan Druff as you.
Oh,
maybe,
whoa.
Maybe, I had rocks in my hat this time. That's kind of like my dandruff. But you know what? The rocks fell down, and they all came, and they all were stacked on top of each other. Oh, 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 oh.
Whoa!
Got you there.
What a
all
trick.
came together like that. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
Well, I had a lot of fun last weekend with my family for Easter.
Oh, yeah. So you did the Easter Jam.
The Easter Jam, did you do you were part of, you were kind of moderating the Easter Jam. You didn't do a very good job, but hey, we all got to learn and learn and learn, and you are just at the beginning, my friend. You're young.
That's right, I am. Yeah. Well, I loved doing it, even if it wasn't like 100% perfect or 99% perfect. I loved doing it. It was a good time. Me and my wife loved the peep jousting.
Peep jousting. I like that too. I played it.
Did you win?
I lost.
Oh, well.
But that's normal for me. But the reason why I lose is, of course, not because I really lose. I always make myself lose so the other party doesn't feel so bad.
Well, I guess that's just generous of you, isn't it?
It's very generous.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I do the same thing sometimes. I guess we're just two peeps in a pod.
You know what? Your jokes are just not getting any better. Your jokes are terrible. Anyway, So have you been much out lately?
Oh, well, no, I don't really go out that much, obviously. But I do go to the store once a week, maybe, just to get some groceries and necessary items.
Oh, so where do you go to the store?
I go to the store at Safeway.
Or McKay's?
McKay's sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. What I noticed, I go to McKay's and it's so weird there.
Why?
Well, they all have masks. They all have like half faces like this.
Half faces?
Ooh.
Oh! Yeah,
you
know what?
Face.
I've got one of those.
You do?
It's a little different.
Ooh.
It's much more like a bandana.
It's actually a really nice one that you have here, but my problem is when I wear them, I always blow up my glasses and I can't see much anymore.
Well, that's why I don't wear glasses.
You have those really fancy modern glasses. Now, let me ask you, why are we wearing those? I forgot.
Oh, well, we wear them to stop the spread of a virus, like the coronavirus.
Oh, that's why we do it. And they help?
Yeah. Huh?
Well, but we don't have to wear them at home, right? Just when we go out to the store and stuff, right?
That's right. Oh, well, yes.
I'll keep mine on. Because I think that when you talk to me, I always have a feeling that, your spit comes through the camera and right at me. But nah, it's not going to happen. It only happens when you actually talk to somebody, right?
That's right.
For reals.
Yeah. So,
anyway.
We wear masks.
So,
I wear this bandana. It was given to me by my grandmother-in-law.
Yeah,
and it helps protect my face and my body from the virus so that I can stay healthy and keep the others around me healthy. You do the same thing.
Because that's really the most important thing, to keep the other ones around you healthy, right? So even if we maybe would not be so bad off with the coronavirus, we don't want to get anyone else sick. That's why we are all wearing masks and stuff.
That's right.
That makes so much sense.
That's right.
Anyway. So, do you know anything about the good news story we want to watch today?
Oh, I know a lot about the good news story coming up today.
What is it?
Because I watched it. Because I couldn't help myself. I just had to know what was going to happen. And I'll let you know this.
Yep.
Today's good news story has to do with putting others first.
Oh, so
which
that's
is why
kind
we
of
wear the masks.
You know, but that's so that is exactly what we talked about. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun talking to you again. So are we going to do this again next week?
I think we should. Most definitely. Next week, same time, same place.
Do you think I'm going to be able to balance this thing all week so it's still going to be all?
Yes!
I
do think you will. I think it's going to be staying just like that.
Yeah. You know that I gave this for my wife's birthday to her?
Oh, really?
I gave Kristen that for her birthday. And she went like, you give me a bunch of rocks that you glued together for my birthday? What's that? I said, honey, it's the coronavirus birthday present.
Fantastic.
Anyway, I will talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. All you people have a great week. We'll see you next time.
And boom!
Everywhere that I go, you're there with me. Even in the night when I cannot see, I know you're by my side and I will be just fine. Oh God, you're always good to me. I wanna say thank you, I will live my life to praise you and lift you high. Every night and day I'll follow in your ways. I wanna say thank you, I wanna say thank you, God. Every breath that I take you give to me. Every brand new day is a blessing. I know you're by my side and I will be just fine. Oh God, you're always good to me. I wanna say thank you, I will live my life to praise you and lift you high. Every night and day I'll follow in your ways. I wanna say thank you, I wanna say thank you, God. I wanna say thank you for mercy and kindness, for grace that is endless, love and forgiveness. I wanna say thank you for mercy and kindness, for grace that is endless, love and forgiveness. I wanna say thank you, I will live my life to praise you and lift you high. Every night and day I'll follow in your ways. I wanna say thank you, I wanna say thank you, God. I wanna say thank you, God. I wanna say thank you, God.
Hey everybody! I'm Jake. I'm really sorry if I look or sound funny today. My shirt's really tight, and I'm afraid if I breathe out, I'll pop a button. I gotta breathe! Today, I'm gonna talk to you about humility. Humility is putting others first by giving up what you think you deserve. One of the ways I like to put others first. So you're probably thinking that the smart thing to do would be to change shirts. Well, I already tried that, but none of my shirts fit today, or any of my clothes. At first I thought maybe I had gained a little weight. I mean, I have been eating a lot of mustard-filled donuts lately, but even my shoes don't fit. And I don't think I gained any weight in my feet. Almost got it, almost. Or my head. I don't know what's happening right now. Wait a second. I bet one of my friends is playing another April Fool's Month surprise on me. They switched all my clothes with smaller versions of my clothes. Man, that's elaborate. I gotta do something now. That's the rules of April Fool's Month. Somebody does something to me, I'm gotta do something back. Something big. Something that's never been done before. I'll put a bucket of confetti over the door. So whoever walks through will get a bucket of confetti all over them. Yeah, Jake, you're a genius. Nope. Easy, boy. So, today's story is about how we should treat people like they're more important than we are. I can't wait to try that after I prove to everyone that I'm the best at April Fool's Month surprises. Yeah! Oh. How many buttons does this thing have?
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. And now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verses 3 through 8.
Jesus' life and death and resurrection changed the way everything works. It changed how we view others and how we treat them. One of Jesus' followers, a man named Paul, wrote about it in a letter to believers in Philippi. Don't do anything only to get ahead. Instead, be humble. Value others more than yourselves. As you deal with one another, you should think and act as Jesus did. Jesus was equal with God, but Jesus didn't take advantage of that fact. Instead, He made Himself nothing. He did this by taking on the nature of a servant. He appeared as a man. He was humble and obeyed God completely. He did this even though it led to His death. Let's imagine how this truth might play out today. Angus McCrane had been up since 5:30 a.m. for his job as a school bus driver. After 3 morning routes, he skipped lunch to clean out throw up and a spilled soda from the back of his bus.
Yuck.
Then there were 3 afternoon routes and a whole stack of paperwork waiting for him at the bus garage at the end of the day. So by the time Angus got home, he was starving. He couldn't wait to dig into this delicious ribeye he'd picked up.
Gonna fire up that grill right away.
While the grill heated, Angus prepared a baked potato and sautéed green beans.
A little salt, a little lemon. Doo-doo-doo.
Then he seared the steak to perfection and slid it on his plate alongside the fluffy baked potato and crisp green beans. Ooh.
Thank you, Lord Jesus, for this food. Amen.
Angus sliced off a corner of the sizzling steak and skewered it with his fork. But before he could take a bite,
Oh, for goodness sake.
with a regretful glance at his steak, Angus headed over to his front door and opened it. His new, chipper neighbor Marge stood there, holding an enormous Siamese cat.
Hello, Marge.
I am so sorry to barge in, but I just found out about a super last-minute work trip, and I don't have anyone to watch Boris while I'm gone.
Angus just stared at the cat, and the cat stared back, smugly, as if he knew Angus hated cats.
Well, I gotta tell you, I've never been around cats much.
Oh, that's no problem. I've got everything you need right here.
Angus looked past Marge to see several bags and boxes, plus an entire carpeted climbing tree.
So, could you do it?
Angus glanced sadly at his quickly cooling steak, but he could see Marge was a little desperate.
Well, okay.
It took Marge nearly 10 minutes to explain every little detail of Boris the cat's care. Finally, Angus was alone again with his steak. and Boris.
Yeah, better keep those fuzzy paws away from my dinner, you hear me?
But before Angus could take a bite,
What on earth?
Angus jumped up and hurried over to the side window. He could see exactly what had happened.
That boy.
Zachary Kircher was the kid who lived next door. He loved sports but didn't have good aim. He'd already dented Angus's car with a baseball and destroyed a patch of petunias playing soccer, and this time it was a rogue football that had hit the window.
At least didn't break the glass.
Angus saw Zachary scrambling to recover the football and make his escape, but as he tried to hop the fence, he stumbled.
Serves him right.
When Zachary got up, Angus could clearly see that he'd badly gashed his knee. Angus sighed, thought mournfully about his steak, and opened the window.
Zachary!
Sorry, Mr. McCrane. I'm leaving.
No, just hold on a minute. We gotta clean up that knee.
So Angus grabbed his handy-dandy first aid kit and headed outside. It took another 10 minutes to clean out all the dirt from Zachary's scrape and get it all bandaged up, and finally, Angus sat down to dinner again for the third time. His steak was barely warm.
I am so hungry I could eat the entire cow.
But before he could take a bite,
That don't sound good.
Angus ran to the front window. It appeared that the neighborhood ice cream truck had swerved to avoid Zachary, who had ran into the road to chase his football. Big no-no. And now that truck was listing sideways on a flat tire.
You have got to be kidding me.
Angus opened the front door and headed down the sidewalk. The poor teenage driver was checking out the damage.
It's my first day on the job. I wrecked the truck. They'll fire me.
No. It's just a flat, son. You wait right here.
With a deep sigh, Angus headed back to his garage, grabbed his handy-dandy toolkit, and showed the young driver how to remove the flat tire and replace it with a spare.
Thanks. I'd totally give you an ice cream sandwich, but they might fire me for giving stuff away.
Angus wiped the grease off his hands as he watched the ice cream truck ramble down the street. Speaking of ice, his dinner must be stone cold by now.
Excuse me?
Angus jumped a mile to see Marge standing behind him. She was wearing oven mitts and holding a hot apple pie. Steam seeped from the cracks.
I can't eat this since I've got to leave. I thought you might like it.
Well, glory be.
Angus inhaled the heavenly smell.
First I interrupt your dinner, then you help that kid next door, and now changing a flat. You sure put others first.
I don't generally feel like doing it, but thank you.
Angus happily accepted the apple pie. This time he would be putting dessert first while his dinner reheated in the oven. Now, it would have been a lot easier for Angus to just eat dinner and ignore the people around him who needed help, but little by little, God was helping him serve others, just like Jesus did.
Okay, so the bucket of confetti is set. As soon as someone walks through the door, the bucket will fall and they'll get covered in confetti. But let me think for a second, because something doesn't quite fit right. I'm supposed to think and act like Jesus did when he was here. Well, how did he think and act? Jesus is like God's only son, but instead of staying in some big heavenly castle, he came here as a baby and then grew up serving people, helping people who are sick, teaching people who wanted to learn. Then he died for us and came back to life. So, how did Jesus think? He thought that people mattered a whole lot. And how did he act? He loved and served and gave up everything for people. Gave up what he deserved for me. And you know the rules. Somebody does something for me, I've got to do something back. So I took the confetti myself, so no one else would have to. I mean, it's not even a big deal. I like confetti. And these aren't even my clothes. Ugh. Sometimes putting others first gets a little messy. But you know what? That's okay. You don't put others first because it's easy. You should put others first because that's what Jesus did for you. That's the one thing I learned today. Put others first because Jesus put you first. I'm gonna say that over and over again so I'll remember. Put others first, cause Jesus put you first. Put others first, cause Jesus put you first. Love others, cause Jesus loved others. Like your family, your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your mother, your gardener. Put others first, cause Jesus put you first. Man, I feel like brand new. It's like putting on a fresh pair of clothes, except clothes that actually fit. Ugh. I'm gonna need to change. I am getting confetti in my lungs. See you next time!
All right, y'all ready? Here we go. I think it's time to change my mind from only thinking me, myself, and I, laying down my pride. Gonna put somebody else at number one this time. Don't wanna be in a world where it's all about me. I'll take second to whoever is around me. I'm giving up my number one position. We all belong at number one together. Laying down myself, shine the light on someone else. I'm giving it all for you. 'Cause we all belong at number one together. Here we go. Come on. We can change the world when we learn to share and put each other first. So I put aside myself, making less of me and more of someone else. Don't wanna be in a world where it's all about me. I'll take second to whoever is around me. I'm giving up my number one position. We all belong at number one together. Laying down myself, shine the light on someone else. I'm giving it all for you. 'Cause we all belong at number one together. Humility is less of me, giving more for anyone around me. Humility is less of me, giving more